What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother Eric Levin for the donation to the channel via the Cash App. Much respect to him for showing love to Too Raw for TV. I thought I would go ahead and make this a two-part video, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do part one of this video today and the second part tomorrow. So today I'm going to talk about the deception when it comes to all NBA teams in a lot of these chat groups, these basketball chat groups, or just basketball discussions when it comes to LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about all NBA teams. Okay, excuse me, all defensive teams. Today, all NBA teams. All right. So what I'm getting at is, sometimes you might see a list, and LeBron James fans love to post these things where they'll show all of the all NBA players that are represented on the finals teams that LeBron James plays against. You know, you might see Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, especially back-to-back years. And, you know, with Michael Jordan, you might see one, maybe two players on the finals teams that are all NBA. And the inference is that, well, look, LeBron is playing against all these super teams, all this high talent, high octane teams. Michael Jordan going up against these teams that just, in comparison, don't compare to what LeBron had to go through, right? And it can fool you if you don't do your research. It can fool you, right? This is what people have to take into account. Number one, LeBron James has played a very long time. Number one, he's played now 22 seasons. 22 seasons in the NBA. And in those 22 seasons, he's appeared in 10 NBA finals. And while he has played against some stacked teams when it comes to talent, those Thunder teams, they had and we'll have three Hall of Famers and three MVPs and three future Hall of Famers in Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. That cannot be denied. Those Warriors teams were stacked. That cannot be denied. But what also cannot be denied is the fact that LeBron James himself has played on stacked teams. Stacked teams, and in a matter that Michael Jordan never had the benefit of playing with. He didn't have the benefit of playing with all these great players around him. And that's the equalizer. LeBron James started the Big Three era. LeBron James started the stacked team era. If you notice now, and it has a lot to do with the changes in the CBA, you don't see as many of these 2-3 superstar teams as you once did. Maybe you might see them when a superstar is still in his rookie contract and they're able to afford two other stars. But once that guy gets that first real contract, it's over. So that's one thing that doesn't get talked about at all. Secondly, you see a lot of these guys' names repeat over and over and over again. You can't really count these guys more than once, okay? So this is the thing. LeBron James, in his playoff career, has played against 31 all NBA players in the playoffs. 31. That's a lot. It is. However, a good percentage of them were in the finals. And I say that because when you look at the conference, especially between 2010 and 2018, that period that we've always talked about where the East was really weak, the names start drying up in the Eastern Conference. It's really when he was playing in the playoffs in the 2000s, and since he went to the West, that list started stacking up a little bit more as far as all NBA players, especially in the same conference. And it's also affiliated with the fact, or associated with the fact, that all of a sudden now that he's playing against more competition in his conference, oh, he's losing now. But look, so the list is Gilbert Arenas, Chauncey Billups, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. Matter of fact, you know what? I made an error. I included someone more than once. I didn't know I did that. And I checked this list. So actually, it's 30. It goes from 30 to 30, 31 to 30. Let's start over. Gilbert Arenas, Chauncey Billups, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Dwight Howard, Derrick Rose, Dirk Nowitzki, Carmelo Anthony, Tyson Chandler, Rajon Rondo, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Tony Parker, Pau Gasol, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Drummond, Kyle Lowry, Draymond Green, DeMar DeRozan, Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Durant, Victor Oladipo, Dame Lillard, James Harden, Jokic, Jimmy Butler, Chris Paul, and Anthony Edwards. So that's 30. So that's 30 All-NBA players, right? He's faced in the playoffs in his 22 years in the NBA. 30. Michael Jordan, and really 13 years. You can include the Wizard years, but you know, we'll include it because he was trying to get to the playoffs, right? So in 15 years in the NBA, Michael Jordan played against 22 All-NBA players. 22. So the ratio is about the same. If you divide 30 into 22, you get, what is that? 1.36 superstar per season, or excuse me, 1.36 All-NBA player per season. With Michael Jordan, that's 1.47 All-NBA player per season. So if you actually divide it by the ratio, Michael Jordan actually played against more All-NBA talent. And that list goes Terry Cummings, Sidney Moncrief, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Mark Price, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Joe Dumars, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Clyde Drexler, Brad Daugherty, Dominique Wilkins, Penny Hardaway, Shaquille O'Neal, Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, Tim Hardaway, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Glenn Rice, and Reggie Miller. That's not including the fact that he went up against all-time great teams like the Pistons, who did not have all NBA teams outside, all NBA players outside of Joe Dumars at the time, but they were an all-time great team. You know what I'm saying? Like Isaiah Thomas after 86, 87 was no longer MVP candidate, was no longer selected to these all NBA teams, but he was a Hall of Famer. He also, Michael Jordan, went up against guys who were all-star caliber players or were all-stars, but were not selected to all NBA teams. That being like, for off the top of my head, Steve Smith, Alonzo Mourning, at least those selective years. Dikembe Mutombo, you get the point, right? Also, one other point I want to make too, and I think this is very significant. Prior to 1989, there were only 2 all NBA selections. There was not an all NBA third team, which gives LeBron James a further advantage. So if you look at it, if there was an all NBA third team prior to 1989, 1990, then that would have probably added Isaiah Thomas's name to this list as well. It probably would have added Isaiah Thomas and possibly, well, I can't say Reggie because he's not on the list, but it definitely would have added Isaiah Thomas' name and, maybe even a guy like Bernard. Well, he didn't play against Bernard King, but some other guys. But definitely Isaiah Thomas comes to mind. So, yeah, there you go. They played against actually comparable talent in the playoffs. And when you look at the fact that Michael Jordan did not play on super teams, as opposed to LeBron James, Michael Jordan overachieved. So if you do the research, it's easy to debunk these talking points. It's very easy because the facts are on our side. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.